France has threatened to intervene if rebel troops launch another assault on the Chad capital, N'Djamena. The rebels have retreated to the edge of the city but are threatening a fresh offensive, and French troops are poised to come to the aid of the Chadian government. Thousands more refugees have continued to flee Chad for neighbouring Cameroon. 20,000 people have crossed the river border since the weekend. You may be disturbed by some of the images in this report from our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Jonathan Miller.
The Battle of N'Djamena is over, for now. There's been very heavy fighting here. Burned-out pickup trucks in which 2,000 Sudanese-backed rebels invaded the Chadian capital this weekend lie abandoned, as do the bodies of insurgent fighters. Tonight, the Chadian Red Cross said hundreds of civilians had been killed too. The rebels say they've retreated to let civilians escape, the threat that it's not over yet. A French armoured convoy passes Chadian soldiers, now back in control of the streets. It was a close-run thing. Here a camera captures pictures of wounded Chadian soldiers being loaded onto a Libyan cargo plane. Tens of thousands have fled across the Chari River from N'Djamena into neighbouring Cameroon, fleeing a country that's already hosting nearly 500,000 refugees and displaced from turmoil out east on Chad's border with Darfur. Another humanitarian crisis, the last thing this country needed. This man says the rebels promised they'll be back. We fear for our lives. The International Committee of the Red Cross says 30,000 have already fled in N'Djamena. Some of the 1,400 French troops in this former French colony have evacuated foreign nationals, but despite last night's green light from the UN Security Council authorising outside intervention in support of the Chadian government, the French president has broken with his predecessor's policy, thus far denying direct military aid to prop up the embattled regime of Idriss Déby. Today, though, Nicolas Sarkozy threw his weight behind Déby. France would do its duty, he warned, adding that it had the means to respond to any unlawful attack and help repel the rebels. There is widespread suspicion that Sudan backed the rebel assault to scupper the deployment of nearly 4,000 French-led European peacekeeping troops on the Chadian side of this border. Should the president of Chad be toppled, the conflict in Darfur would likely intensify, spilling over this troubled frontier, further threatening all those already displaced and plunging an ever larger swathe of Central Africa into chaos.